Expansion starts here, the podcast. My name is Rhett Butler, Marketing and Communications Manager for Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. And this is a very, very special episode. I have the honor and privilege to be talking to today David Iannucci, President and CEO of the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. David, thanks for the time today.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
This is amazing. And, we have to start with the big news. Obviously, you've decided to retire after an historic career in economic development. What reflections do you have? I mean, you've had tenure. We've seen all of the comments and the well wishes on LinkedIn. How do you feel about this?
Well, I've been really gratified by the reaction. I mean, it was a hard decision for me to make. I spent really several years contemplating it, and a lot of factors went into it, but I think it's the right time for me personally. I am 72. I think it's the right time for this great organization, the Economic Development Corporation. Obviously, there's going to be change at the county executive level as well.
Indeed.
So it'll be a chance to look forward and decide kind of what priorities should be installed for the organization. But I look back with this kind of great pride. It's hard to imagine all the years that have gone by.
Right. It's interesting because we recently released the Economic Development Strategic Action Plan. 2 years of work. What are you, I don't want to say grading. I was about to say, what are you grading us at? But this is not school. This is life. Done. But actually, what do you really think about the work that's been done between the collaborative agencies?
Well, the 2022 plan was really an update of the 2013 plan, which was the most successful economic development strategy that this county's ever had.
Wow.
And in 2022, the results of 2 years of work, challenged, by the way, during the COVID years, so everything had to be kind of Zoom and things like that. It set forth kind of a reiteration of how this county will continue to grow. The new strategic plan sets the stage for the direction of this county so that we're no longer a bedroom community.
Yes.
So that our residents don't have to get on Metro, don't have to get on the Beltway and drive for employment. So we're trying very much to bring about those knowledge sector industries that are going to give the greatest growth for our very talented, very diverse, very skilled workforce.
Indeed, it's been robust for innovation in this county. You've been bullish on innovation in this county, and it's been great since I've been here for you to show me what the vision is for the county, especially understanding that innovation might lead the way for employment to other sectors. We're seeing how companies like Iannucci are bringing staffing from the West Coast, which is typically known as Silicon Valley, to College Park area. I mean, talk about the fact that Prince George's County is now becoming the capital of quantum.
Well, the really important thing is we have some great institutions in this county upon which to base our economic future. The University of Maryland is not only our largest employer, it's the generator of the workforce of the future. And it's really creating industries such as quantum computing that could lead the world in terms of change and the ability to compute things literally thousands of times faster than the fastest computer in the world. So we have Goddard Space Flight Center that is leading, internationally known for its research and interplanetary research on climate change. How important is climate change going to be?
Oh, it's everything.
And we have one of the greatest concentrations in Prince George's County of climate change scientists between Goddard, NOAA, and the University of Maryland. So we have these great institutions, and that's really one of the goals of the strategic plan was to give us a focus on those industry sectors where we had the greatest opportunity to grow, to add jobs, but also to add meaningful jobs. And the report card, as you will, although it says we've made really important progress, there are 18 specific recommendations, and probably about 14 of them, there's been significant progress in the last 2 years. Some of the things called for a 5-year timeline, so it wasn't expected that all the recommendations would be done immediately. But I would say for maybe 14 of the 18, there was very significant progress in terms of identifying new partners, collaborations with institutions, understanding the role of corporations, particularly programs in the workforce area. Walter Simmons is to be congratulated for the great work that EPG has done to implement their 6 recommendations, because what we've learned in the Economic Development Corporation is the business, when they look at a location, they want to know that they can find the workers that they need.
Right.
And if they can't find the skilled workers in this community, they're going to go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And that's why EPJ plays such an important role in moving the strategic plan forward. The Maryland National Park and Planning Commission also has a huge role from a land use, from a placemaking role. They've been another great partner in that. So the strategic plan, I hope that after I'm gone, that the county will continue to use its focus going forward, because it gives us a roadmap to have continued success.
Absolutely. We're going to say gone figuratively, because I think literally you will still be around on some level of essence, and definitely you've left your imprint. And it's interesting, and this is not me disparaging myself, but I've never felt any less intelligent than when you put me on to quantum computing. I didn't know what this was, and I've been to conferences and been around so many of this that I realized, wow. And just the fact that we're watching the future unfold right here in the county is pretty amazing. You always bring me lists showcasing how we're ranking in the greater Washington region, the companies that have been incubated here, a lot of which have been incubated upstairs, and just had the resources that we provide. Talk about what factors you think attribute to the growth and sustainability of the companies now making top 10 lists, top 5 lists by revenue, by employment in the county.
I think one of the most important assets that Prince George's County brings to economic development is our diverse, skilled workforce, a workforce that I think is going to reflect America of the future. And we've put resources in there, but it's these entrepreneurs, men and women, who've taken the initiative, whether it's in, connected to Goddard or quantum computing or other sectors as well, where there's growth opportunities. So we try to create an atmosphere here in Prince George's County to support our local small minority businesses in particular.
Absolutely.
And I want to congratulate Executive Vice President Ebony Stocks for her leadership.
Definitely.
Under the Grow Prince George's County label. We have had dozens and dozens of programs. You all have been part of them.
Absolutely.
To give people training on how to do payroll, how to do taxes, how to do a website, franchising opportunities. I believe that the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation was the first economic development organization in the United States to offer AI training to our local small minority business community.
Yes.
So that type of resources that we provided to these businesses that led to the statistics that I know you're familiar with, Rep.
Oh, yeah.
Which is Prince George's County led all counties in Maryland for new startup businesses.
That's right.
22,000 new businesses were created over the time period that the Census Bureau measured. There is a direct correlation between those programs, between our incubator upstairs, ISBI, and the result of that number of new startup businesses.
Yeah, amazing. And shout out to Alicia Moran and ISBI. They're doing amazing work upstairs. What are your hopes for Prince George's County's economic development moving forward? And I know that's pretty broad, but you would obviously have your finger on the needle.
Well, I'm very proud, as I look back, that between 2011 and 2021, Prince George's County led all counties in Maryland for job growth, added more than 55,000 jobs. Number one in job growth. COVID, of course, hit us all. We're now in a recovery period, and I think we'll be able to look back and say since 2022, we again have regained more jobs in any county in Maryland.
Yes.
So I'm proud of that type of job growth. I'm proud of the fact that we're creating employment opportunities for our residents so they don't have to leave the county for their employment.
Absolutely.
I'm proud for the recognition that the county is getting regionally from an economic development perspective. But we still have work to do.
Yes.
The state of Maryland, our home, has had some greater challenges in economic development than I think were foreseen. And there are some data that Governor Moore has talked about the state economy slowing down.
Yes.
And we're being relatively flat since 2017. So it's very important that our state leaders identify what needs to be done to change the thrust of the Maryland economy. Because we can be number one in Maryland, but if Maryland is lagging in job growth, that's a greater challenge for all of us, particularly here in the Washington region, where Virginia is so strong.
Absolutely. You recently awarded a Maryland Manufacturing Star, which was really cool. How did you feel knowing that this was coming and fortuitously on the heels of your retirement announcement?
Well, I was one of many, many people who got the recognition, and I want to congratulate everyone. And I think that was looking back deeper into my career. When I was in Baltimore County, I worked very closely with Sparrows Point and steel manufacturing and General Motors and Lockheed Martin. And then here in Prince George's County, that we've had wonderful companies in the manufacturing sector like Blink Charging, they're manufacturing electric vehicle charging stations, or Ion Storage, which has got a new technology for ceramic batteries that are safer than lithium batteries, so they're more efficient than lithium batteries. So we in Economic Development Corporation, and going back historically, have focused on manufacturing. It's a different type of manufacturing than it was 50 years ago in Baltimore, where they made steel and that was now on the Golden Gate Bridge, or they made airplanes or cars.
Wow.
It's a new type of manufacturing technology, assembly. Literally making satellites falls under that arena, under Goddard.
Right.
So it's a very important sector for the national economy, and we're trying to carve a niche for Prince George's County in that sector. So I greatly appreciate the recognition, but it was recognition for the businesses and the entrepreneurs who succeeded.
Indeed, and I think was it Steny Hoyer who also received recognition?
Steny Hoyer got a big
Beautiful.
award.
Okay.
Congressman Hoyer, representing Prince George's County and parts of Southern Maryland, got a reward by the Regional Manufacturing Institute for his leadership on a national level in promoting manufacturing, and we were beneficiary of his leadership.
Absolutely. You know, our tagline is expansion starts here, and we have a true ecosystem here, and we're very collaborative. Are there any words of encouragement that you have for the ecosystem that you've given so much to?
Well, I'm part of a wonderful team at the Economic Development Corporation. I'm very proud of the great work that this organization has done. I think we're looking ahead to continue the growth and the progress of Prince George's County. We've got all these great assets with great institutions that we talked about, University of Maryland, and Goddard, and NOAA, and the Census Bureau, and so forth. We've got a very skilled, educated workforce. We have got a wonderful location from a transportation perspective. So we have all these great assets going. We need to continue, though, to focus on changing and improving the business climate that is perceived in the state of Maryland, in the Washington metropolitan region, and in our own county, because words have consequences, and there are some issues that the business community is looking at for improvement in Prince George's County in terms of an atmosphere of certainty.
Okay.
The business community wants certainty. They want to know that the rules that when they start to make a $50 million investment are going to be the same rules that when they're finished it. And I call upon our leaders to be very cognizant of the fact that we need to create more certainty for the business community and perhaps look at removing some obstacles that developers and businesses are seeing their ability to grow here in Prince George's County.
There's so much to look forward to. And we're all obviously sad to see you go, but I hope you're going to have a lot more time to play baseball and enjoy everything. I know the Nats are your team.
That's
so
right.
Go Nats.
That's
and obviously the Terps are doing well. You know, we wish them the best as well. But I want to actually say that David Iannucci, you're one of the reasons why expansion starts here at Prince George's County. So thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you very much. I'm very proud of what we've been able to do here. This is culmination of 14 years here in Prince George's County.
Wow.
First with County Executive Baker, and now with County Executive, now United States Senator-elect Angela Alsop.
Congratulations.
My entire career, Rhett, I've kind of devoted to public service, really getting out of college, getting out of law school, working in Annapolis, had an opportunity to have several pretty important jobs at the state level.
Indeed.
But the overall kind of theme of my entire career has been public service, kind of contributing to my local community. I'm a longtime Prince George's County resident, really counted since I was 6 years old. I'm going to continue to live in Bowie. And really, I believe in this county very strongly, and I want to make sure we have a chance to achieve the success that I think we're destined for.
Absolutely. And that is why expansion starts here.